All right, Pika, let's try this again. Okay. No. Ha-ha! Opening chimes, huh? Yes, indeed. Thank you very much for tuning in. It is Reverend Sully, Eric O'Sullivan, ordained on the internet. The caveat, as always, please do not burn your hands holding on to my hot takes. If you do, well, that's on you, pal, or gal, or any friend that lives within the spectrum of humanity. That's, we're talking comic books today, and I just watched 8 of the 10 MCU movies that Marvel Cinematic Universe movies that I own. I got the Captain America 3-pack, I got the Iron Man 3-pack, and I got the Avengers 4-pack. And so I'm up to Infinity War and Endgame. It's a yes. But I just watched Civil War, and Civil War is it's one of the best Captain America movies. I like all 3 of those movies. That was a good series. I liked all 3 Iron Man movies, and Iron Man 3 was still the weakest one for me. I even liked Avengers 2, Age of Ultron, the best. I've ever enjoyed that movie, watching it. Joss Whedon actually just nails it just right for that superhero over-the-topness and dialogue and simple setup payoff. I mean, that could be Joss Whedon's finest hour, but I digress. But Civil War, I was tuned into Civil War in 2007, 2006, 2007. I was still a weekly buyer, and I was tuned into Marvel as much as I was DC, and it was a good time to be a Bendis fan, because Bendis hadn't become the kind of Bendis is known for a lot of dialogue, and just it became almost its own kind of trope after a while. The Bendis style dialogue, it's just too, sometimes it's just too much story and too much chattiness when a lot of it's about the art. And so we'll get Civil War. I was tuned into Civil War, and I got a chunk of it. I didn't get every single issue, but this is my Civil War, and we're going to go through it real quick. And a couple of them aren't Civil War, and especially the beginning. It is New Avengers Annual number 1. We're going to look at the indicia real quick, and oh gosh, I cannot read this. Is it the light? It's white text on a dark page. Is this July of 2004? 2005. Damn. It is June of 2006. This is a one-shot. This is the Avengers Annual. Annuals are great because they're oversized, and they're a little bit more expensive. This has a $3.99 cover price. $3.99 was I think $1 more than what was going on at the time. And I should leave those glasses out. Probably need it again. This isn't part of the Civil War imprint or story, but I include it as the beginning, or a great place to start, because it's the last time we see all the Avengers hanging out together and enjoying each other's company, and it's the wedding of Luke Cage and Jessica Jones, and but yeah, look at that picture. Look who's there. Everyone's there. There's Tony. There's Steve. I mean, who else is who? There's Logan. That's Peter. That's Peter Parker. And it's Carol Danvers. I believe. Yeah, that is Carol Danvers. You can tell because she's iconic. She's in a uniform. Yeah, that's, and they're holding baby Danielle. I think that's Jessica Drew, the Spider-Woman. And who's the blonde guy in the back there? I'm not sure. I bet you if I look in the... Yep. Oh, that's Sentry. Yeah. And, Yeah, it was the last time that the Avengers were together before the Civil War, all getting along. And then came Mark Millar and kind of changed comic books in a way, because superheroes been doing nothing but fighting each other ever since. I mean, I might not be a weekly purchaser or reader anymore, but I do keep my finger on the pulse. I got some skin in the game with the YouTube creators I follow, namely your boy Zach, Perch, Wes from Thinking Critical, and all of and his panels and his gang. They keep me really in tune. But yeah, this is Civil War. This was great. Great art by Steve McNiven. Inks by Dexter Vines. Was it? I think, and he worked with Ed McGuinness too. So yeah, grab those glasses again, kid. July of 2006. And yeah, it's actually got a really, really good opening. I think the art in this is very tight. It's the New Warriors, and there's a school. See the school bus? They got into a fight, Namorita, and then boom, this guy here. And then, yeah. And then it starts from there. I mean, and then people start taking sides because they wanted to legalize superhero registration. There are superhero registration acts. That's right. And yeah, it's a nice thick cardstock. Well, not a cardstock, but it's just a heavier grade. This is $3.99 cover price. Got Civil War 2. And we've got Amazing Spider-Man. Amazing Spider-Man 533 by J. Michael Straczynski. And Garney? Who's Garney? Steve Garney? Ron Garney. And part of the... So yeah, Peter Parker joined... He was on Tony Stark's side. And that's what kind of like maybe fed into and inspired the whole Iron Boy thing of the MCU. But in the comics for a while, when Spider-Man became one of the Avengers, he bonded with Tony Stark because they're geniuses, and they get down on the science, and it was a really nice, natural relationship that they had. Really enjoyed, seeing that at the time. Yeah, I was, but Spider-Man was on Team Tony, and took his mask off, and that inspired more ever since too. Like spells to make people forget who you are, and this is a really interesting one. Okay, I'm glad I got this and held on to it because it's got the checklist on the back. And when I found these in my Longbox, they weren't in order, and so I was able to cobble together the reading order. But check this out; it's a newspaper. It's a copy of the Daily Bugle, and it cost 50 cents. And yeah, so Peter Parker revealed himself as Spider-Man to the world. That was like one of the huge plot points. And by the end of it, he knows what's going on, and he has to. We'll let the covers of the comics tell the story. But yeah, I mean, this is on the newsprint. This is kind of like. I mean, the only thing missing from here is the funny pages. Yeah, it's really cute. Should non-superpower vigilantes be required to register with the government? Like these 4 panels here. Person on the street. Look at that. Let's hold that, for a second. With the, Yeah, huh? That's it. Registered hero, Namor. Yeah, it was Megan's Law, because Megan was like, it was like the mom in Avengers 2 at the beginning. Or was it Iron Man 3? No, it was Avengers 2. She was in the halls of, yeah. in the basement there with Tony. Like, was it Avengers 3? No, that was literally at the beginning of Captain America Civil War. That scene, yeah. Tony giving the grant to all the students. Mutant Cable offers amnesty. Fleeing masks may find safe haven. Ooh, whoa! Almost dropped all of these comic books. But yeah, so this is really cute. And on I know I should have boards for these. I gotta get some boards. I should go to a local comic book store and get some boards. Seriously, spend some money there. Oh, comic book store. Oops, I'm starting to drop stuff. Civil War 3. Black Panther. Written by Reginald Hudlin. Yeah, this is about, I think, T'Challa and Aurora. They were married at the time. I don't know if they're still married. They might be. But, yeah. I mean, how does Wakanda line up? And what if Storm and T'Challa are on separate, on other sides? Thor was dead at the time. People forget about this plot point in Civil War. Thor was dead. This was clone Thor. We called him Clore. And it's just, it's really, it was a bad idea because, yeah, this is a prestige format. It's $2.99 by this time. This is Fantastic Four, issue 540. Like the Civil War breaks up the Richards. You had like Johnny and Sue like running off. Civil War 5. And this is Peter on the run. Peter has figured out that there's bad things going on. And he switches sides. And now he's on the run. And everyone knows who he is. And he can't hide. Or can he? And he has to ditch his brand new Iron Spidey costume. The red and the gold there. And where he got the 4 arms. He actually had 3 arms. I don't know why there was a 4th. But it was... yeah, this is a great cover. I mean, this sums up what Peter's going through. But it's like, you know, you'll lose half of the page of the art. You know what I mean? I could see if like that was the spine. If it was blown up a bit, like this could be the front cover and that would be the back cover. You know, but it wouldn't have an ad. Yeah, my Ultimate Spider-Man was ads were everywhere. It was on everything. This was ballyhooed. This was the return of Captain Marvel, the original Marvel, who died in the death of Captain Marvel. He was time lost, I believe, and he wasn't like, you know, he wasn't dead yet. He was like just showing up from the past in this now to be the warden of a prison in the negative zone, I believe, where they were holding captive superheroes. Yeah. It was a jailbreak. Thunderbolts by Warren Ellis here and Mike Deodato. This stuff is great. Let's just look at it real quick. Thunderbolts were an interesting team. Mostly everyone on this team, and will get to be on Norman Osborn's Dark Avengers team. Mike Deodato, he was. Got a lot of work. Got a lot of Mike Deodato funny books in these long boxes. And thanks for tuning in, for just hanging out with some comic books. Civil War number 6. Whose side are you on? Mark Millar. Oh, hey, look at this. Look at this ad. This is an ad. This is a punch-out card. It's 25 free songs at emusic.com/Marvel. Songs in the key of free. It's for that 25 free songs that work on any MP3 player, including quote unquote the iPod. I love advertisements. They're such a connector. You know, it's a #1 site for independent music, but we got 25 free songs. Yes. And, yeah, look, Frank Castle shows up to Steve Rogers' place. Steve hates Frank, okay? With Peter. Save Peter. You know what I mean? And, yeah, it had all the feels. It was pretty darn good. And it ends kind of flat. We're coming up to the ending pretty quickly here. This is cute. Mark Guggenheim, I believe, the writer. But art by one of my favorites, Humberto Ramos. And this is Wolverine number 47. He's a new Avenger. He's on the Avengers team. He's also, yes, he was an X-Men. He's an Avenger. They're going to kill him in a couple of years, too, for a couple of years. Yeah, you know, I love Humberto Ramos's art. I just do. He draws my favorite Spider-Man, or one of them. Sentries come for Logan. You know, this is great. I haven't read these in a while. I've been thinking about rereading all of these. I got a stack of funny books over on my bedside table. The Shadow, which I covered last week, I believe. I'm reading those, all of them. They're just so fun. And I'm starting off with the Chaykin ones, too, which is good because it sets up the rest of the story by Andy Heffler for the next 19 issues. And this is Iron Man. I love that cover. I mean, like, you know, who did this cover? This is Patrick Zurcher did the cover by the cover was by Adi Gradinoff. All right, yeah, and Adi Gradinoff is known for the modern look of Iron Man. When you think Iron Man, you think of like how he looks in the movies, and I think Adi Gradinoff like separated that from something like the Bob Layton kind of look. You know what I mean? When back when Iron Man looked like Iron Man of the comic books of the 70s and 80s. I mean, now there's a 21st century Iron Man look, and I think it was Adi Gradinoff that did that with Warren Ellis in the Extremis arc. So yeah, this is really good art by Patrick Zurcher. Don't know if I'm. Oh, see, there's Iron Boy in the background. That was like the inspiration for the movie Spider-Man. And his Iron Man, his Iron Spider costume comes from here. This is Next Wave, Agents of Hate. This is Stuart Eminem is a really good comic book artist because a lot of it comes down to just simple emotions and in kind of like in a comic-y style. I mean, this is a great squad of B and C listers, and with Warren Ellis's patented sense of humor, and I don't think, again, I don't think this was supposed to fit in. Just the cover was a gag cover. Here's a one-shot: Captain America, Iron Man, Civil War, Casualties of War. Dun dun dun. Let's see. It's called Rubicon. Christos Gage is the writer, and Jeremy Hahn is the penciler. Mark Millar is the inker. It's not bad. It's just it's like an annual. It's a whole bunch of times that Tony and Steve got into a scrap over stuff over the years. What's so different about this time? Well, it's this time. And now it's 2007. And here we go. Civil War number 7. We've come to an end. The fight at the end of this was kind of anticlimactic. It was just, a bunch of civilians peeling Steve off of Tony and saying, "You guys gotta stop this," and Steve surrenders because he realizes there's like the collateral damage around him and the impact that they're having, which is interesting, because that could be any day in Marvel New York City. You know, whether it's the Chitauri, or whether it's the Hand that come to blow up Hell's Kitchen. You know, there's always, you know, some kind of... Oh, hello. Here, and to finish off Spider-Man, we got Amazing Spider-Man 538, which is part... This is on the checklist. And I also got this backed up with a couple of other issues here. Because at the end of Civil War, with Peter's identity being out, Aunt May gets shot. And he goes back in the black. He just puts... That's not the symbiote. That's just his black, you know... his black costume. In all the events of Civil War, this is not a Civil War title or a tie-in. This is Captain America 25, and this is where Captain America, quote unquote, dies as the result of Civil War. This was actually a really ballyhooed issue. Let's see, the New Avengers number 27. Yeah, Bendis, Leinil Yu. Yeah, Leinil Yu rules. You know, post Civil War, you know, lining up. New Avengers, the New Avengers team, led by Luke Cage, Wolverine, Spider-Man, Danny Rand, Jessica Drew, Stephen Strange, Clint Barton, the Ronin at the time. They were the Renegade Avengers team. Then you had Tony's Avengers team that were like the then you had the real Avenger, you know, the New Avengers that everyone that they kind of knew and where they were hiding kind of stuff, and like, nah, let them be kind of thing. But yeah, here's the start of One More Day. This is where the beginning of the end of being a Spider-Man fan. This is where basically where the last issue of Spider-Man I bought. You know, I think there was a couple maybe cents. Was it those Dan Slott ones I burnt? That one of them had to do with the death of Johnny Storm. I don't know. Hey, look at that ad. Oh my goodness. Well, we've come a long way, baby. We really have. I'm not saying that to be facetious. That's actually an advertisement reference from the Virginia Slims cigarette aimed at women from the early 70s. This is from November of 2007. Yeah, One More Day. That's yeah, that was a divisive comic book. And then when did this come out? This came out a lot later. This is in the pile for some reason. Maybe it was just in the box and it got mixed in right at the end. But this is Jonathan Hickman's Secret Wars, number 0. I gotta say, I love the design on that Iron Man suit. I love the coloring of it, the silver and the black. I mean, there's just something to it. Yep. This was, let's see this one. How much did this cost? $0. That's right, because it was on Free Comic Book Day. It's a Saturday in May, I believe. I got that, yeah. Let's see. Hulk and the Agents of Smash. Oh, that was a decent cartoon, right? Okay, here we go. Secret Wars number 0. Yeah, because Jonathan Hickman back then used to intimidate me. I found his stuff actually quite impenetrable. Yet, in hindsight, all I can do is look at it in awe and respect, you know, the kind of architect, the kind of maestro he is, in creating these years-long stories that kind of just, like, you know, build into each other in a way too. He's really good. Yeah, and then there's Who's fighting whom and why? This Secret Wars was interesting. It was, yeah, they had different battle worlds based upon different prominent Marvel arcs. So there was like Old Man Logan world versus the Thor core world. I think I'm getting that right. I'm not sure, but yeah. So that's the Civil War. That's that's a stack of comic books. They were all paid for and cover price. I could be treating them better. They all need new bags, boards, and a new fresh long box. I need to go spend some money at my local comic book store. Wouldn't that be good? I think so. I'm so used to. I don't have a car. You know, I'm a city lad. I mean, yeah. I never needed one. I can rent a car or Uber, or take the T anywhere. You get around. But it's for me. It's easier to order things from Amazon. I don't have to lug them home. Yet, I want to support my local comic book store. So what do? I think I should go buy them at the local comic book store, and maybe they can mail it to my place. But if carrying them home is part of it, then maybe so be it. And hopefully it's a dry day. There's no rain. That's it. That's a project. I mean, that's literally bagging and boarding and boxing hundreds of comic books. I've got it looks to be about 7 long boxes, and most of them are packed. And you add boards, you're going to have to add, I'm going to end up with more long boxes once I add boards to everything. Yes. And so I'm going to have to get, 8 long boxes, maybe 9. I'm going to have to get several hundred quality bags and an equal amount of backing boards, and have to carry them home. I could get an Uber, or I can get them on Amazon. I mean, yeah, so like that, I'm like at this real flummox. Maybe I can make an arrangement there that they can ship it to my place. Jeez. Yeah, I want to be the best buyer. I literally need these products. And so, okay, so where do I go about getting it? Why don't you tell me what you think? What would you do? But I mean, remember, I don't have a car. I'm not getting a ride home. I mean, I could pick up a bundle at a time, like one long box, and a number, maybe 2 long boxes at a time. What do you think? Leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know. Yeah, give me a thumbs up if you like this material. Give me a thumbs down if you didn't. I'm a big lad. I can handle it. Yeah, that's my stack of comic books I would lend you if I wanted to share Marvel's Civil War with you. The real deal. These are the ones I bought. And I bought a lot of them, apparently. I mean, yeah, there's a trade paperback for every one of these. You know what I mean? It just, a real collection must be just so much more. I mean, it's got to be, because I did not buy everything on the checklist. I so did not. I don't want to count right now, but you can see. Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah, I had the majority of those titles are not here. So thank you so much for tuning in. Yeah, and have some creativity with the way you file your comic books. You don't have to file them alphabetically. You can do them by story. This is most definitely not done alphabetically. It's done chronologically to the beats of the story, and that's the best way read. But what do you think? Yeah, so leave me a comment in the comment section, and honestly, one day I would love to earn your subscription. We do pop culture, spirituality, and I'm an ordained minister. I make spiritual content. I say, let's get spiritual, and we often do. I also am a professional line cook. I have delicious, nutritious, and beautiful cooking hacks for you so you can impress your loved ones at your table. So come aboard. Give me a subscribe. I'd love to have you. And thank you so very much. I love talking about comic books. And if you love talking about comic books too, and if you're still here, then you know what? Excelsior. Just like what the old man said, huh? Cheers. And share with me your videos about your favorite comics. All right? Bye-bye.